Assalamu Alikum everyone, myself Hamna and welcome back to my YouTube channel. YouTube have told me that I have to start the excited introduction so that people stay and watch my videos. So is this much excitement enough? Like, was I able to make you people stand down and listen to me? I hope so. So yeah, today we are again going to do soft pastel, and as I have told you people earlier that there are multiple type of pastels out there. There are soft pastels, there are dried pastels, and there are also oil pastels. And today what we are trying is dried pastels, and I have also made another video of dried pastels earlier into this channel, and we will be trying all of the other categories of pastels, not in this video, later someday. uh, we have so much time later someday. Today we are going to use dried pastels, and dried pastels are like they have a chalky structure, and they are pretty much intact. Like soft pastels are those which are like really soft, like they break easily. They are that soft. They also have a chalky structure. Oil pastels don't have a chalky structure, they are more on crayon sides. So yeah, and today we are going to try something difficult. We have to upgrade ourselves into this art medium. Previously we have done something as easy as the avocado, like it was too easy, like it was beginners friendly. And I think it's good that I did a beginner friendly video, because there are many people out there who has just started. So welcome people, and we will learn together. And I was there was a time when I was also a beginner and there was nobody to help me. But yeah, that's fine, I am helping you people, and we will learn together, okay? Because I'm not professional myself. So yeah, today we are going to do a dare, and animals are pretty much hard to do. Like I find them hard to do because you have to add fur, and you have to match their color. And because I have never been to any institution, so I struggle in color theory. uh, but I'm learning. So what I was saying that we also have to color match, because we a panda could look bear if we can't match the color. It was a lame joke. You don't have to laugh. It's okay. It's okay, preps. Yeah, we are going to do the dare today, and hopefully it turns out nice. So without any further ado, let's just begin with this video. So we will start with the scraping technique. As I have told you people earlier that the dried pastels has that chalky structure. So in order to make a very blendy or blurry, or that dreamy background, or if you want to make an art that looks dreamy and ethereal, so these pastels are very good choice for that. You can just scrape them out and use the brush that you use to apply your blush, and it would blend that chalky structure into the paper very beautifully. And it would the colors itself, they would blend so nicely. As you could see how much beautifully that yellow blended into that green I added earlier. And then when we are done with our blurry background, we will work on the deer, and for that we are using the blocking technique. In this technique you just have to block the surface by the color. You have to you want that surface area to be of that color. Like I am just putting the colors where they belong. Like I'm not blending it, I am not adding highlights or shadow to it. I am just putting the color where it belongs. So this is the blocking technique. And then what we will do later is that we will add on layers to this. So when we will be done by blocking,
Then we will start blending, and along with blending we will also start layering. It is all about pastels, is all about trusting the process. And if you're that kind of person who can't trust the process, and if you're that kind of person who gets freaked out if the piece doesn't look good in its initial stages, then I think pastels are not for you, because there is a lot of trusting the process stages into this. At first we were when we were just blocking, it looks like way much ugly, and even right now it is looking very ugly. If you can't trust your guts, and if you can't put faith into that piece, I think pastels is not a good choice for you. Even though I believe that every person is an artist, and every person can do whatever they want, and every person could excel into any art medium they want. But I think if you are that freak out person who freaks out at the initial stage, then I think that soft pastels is not for you, because there is a lot of trusting the process. And as you could see that now I am layering, I am adding layer over layer over layer, and I am using force while doing it, because if you are not using force, then the colors wouldn't blend into each other. It would be just a chalky layer at the top, and you don't want that. So you have to use the force while you are adding the color over each other. And that's why I find pastels very therapeutic, because you could take all of your aggression out onto that paper, and out of that aggression you are going to create a masterpiece. Another thing you could observe into this video is that I am using a tissue paper. I am not putting my hand onto the piece. I am using a tissue paper wherever I have to touch the piece or get the support of the surface to move my hand. I am using a tissue paper. This is very very important when you are using a pastel that is of chalky nature. With oil pastels I don't think so there would be this issue, but I am not sure because I haven't used oil pastel yet. When I will be using them I would tell you people, but till now I am telling you, if you are using a pastel that is of chalky nature, it is necessary for you to use a tissue paper or any surface you could use, that the piece don't get blended by your touch or don't get destroyed by your touch, because these chalky textures are very hard to keep in their place. That's why you have to move very carefully onto the paper. And we are almost done with the face of the deer. I have used different shades and ranges of brown, from the darkest shade of brown to the lightest shade, and I have also used the shades of yellows, and the shades of white, and also the for the nose and the ear, that is on the darker side, the shadowy side, I have used black and grays for that. And for the body I am using different shades of brown, as we have used on the face of the deer. On the body we will do the same thing. First we will do the blocking, we will just put the color where they belong, and then slowly and gradually we will start blending the colors into each other. And then we will start layering. We will do the layering wherever it is needed, and layering is mostly done to highlight a part, to or to add a shadow to any area. Doing a body is much more easier than doing a face, because you don't want to ruin a face. You could do things with the body to hide your mistakes and stuff. But once the proportion of the face are out, I think we are done. We can't make it better. And now here I am using the beige color, which is the lightest shade of the brown. So you have to keep these things in mind, that how when you are blending a color, you have to study which color comes from which range, so that it gets easier to move from darker to lighter and lighter to darker, and it gets easier to blend colors into each other. Because in the scale of colors, when you study that which color sits next to which color, it gets easier to move towards that color. So studying these things are very important. You cannot just go and start making art. You have to do your homework and then do the art. And I'm not saying these things to discourage you. I'm just saying these to give you a better start. Because most of the people, when they can't make the first art piece great, they lose hope, and they will be like, oh, this is not for me. Art is for everybody. Just the only issue is there is that people don't study before they start something. When I am starting a new art medium, and when I am starting something new, I study about that material a lot, the principle of that material, the texture of that material, the way that the material works. It is very important to study, it is very important to do your homework. And this is it, this is all for today. Hope you people liked it. I loved it a lot.
So this is it. This was all about this video. I hope you people loved it. I hope you people enjoyed doing it with me. Pastels are only about trusting the process, because it always starts uglier and then it starts when you start to build upon it. It starts to take shape and it starts to look better. But first, you only have to do blocking part, that this colors goes there, this colors goes there, and you don't blend them, and you don't add details to them, so that it looks a little bit rough, a little bit uglier. But you have to trust it. Trust it, people, trust it. You have to trust, so that when it completes, it looks prettier and it looks better. So if you're not that person who can trust the process, I think that pastels are not for you. But you never know. So never stop trying, because I am also that kind of person who cannot trust the process. I go through phases of emotions when I'm doing something. When I'm starting it, I'm optimistic, and then in the middle I'm like, I think I should throw this piece out of the window because it looks hella ugly. But then when it's complete, I'm like, oh my god, I did that. Oh, I don't trust that. I did that. Me. So yeah, these are the emotions I go through, and it's normal. You just need to trust that it is just the process. The end is going to be beautiful, so you don't have to stop in the between. Okay. And you don't also have to think that, oh no, it's not for me. Yeah, everything is for you. Anybody can do art. Art is a communication. Just like every other human being could communicate, then every other human being could make art, because it's the communication of the soul. And I think every soul is capable of communicating, so it's nothing difficult. All you need to do is practice. Just like when a child is growing up, he speaks broken language, and then when he continues to speak and speak and speak, and his language becomes perfect. It is exactly like that. You start you start communicating your soul. At first you are hesitating, you are speaking broken words, and you are unable to make sentences. That's okay. You're just evolving. Trust in yourself. So, and then in the end, you will be perfect. You will be writing essays, and you will be writing poetry. And get hold of yourself, people, get hold of yourself. So yeah, this was it. This was it. So we'll meet you into the next video. Until then, Allah Hafiz.